But JD Vance, if you've seen like his interviews and how he's like handled the reporters, he's doing like a really good job as far as like going in, taking it to them, answering questions. They throw out like something, he throws it back. Like during the debate, they agreed to no fact checking, for example. And even Tim Walz says that they agreed to no fact checking later on in the debate. The second they fact checked JD Vance, he called him on it, he addressed it, he corrected them, and then they also cut his mic,
No, that's
which
a
made them look really
misrepresentation.
bad. No,
That's a
that's exactly
misrepresentation.
that's
No,
exactly
that's
No,
what
the
not what
mic
happened.
was
happened.
cut because
So,
they were bickering back and forth. They both, yeah, that's what happened.
No,
so
they kept
they
trying to
agreed to
shoo him
limited
off.
fact checking, and they were going to allow each
Hey, guys,
contestant to mainly fact check each other. Hello. So limited fact checking, which is what happened during the debate, and JD Vance was upset that he got called out over the lies that he
Well,
was spouting during the debate.
if you
And
hear
then
what JD
hold on,
said
hold
in
on,
the
hold on,
debate,
hold
no,
on,
no, no,
hold
no,
on, hold on,
you're misrepresenting them. No, 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 they didn't say
hold on.
limited. Show me, get me
But
the
James,
video
just let him
clip where he
finish,
says
and
limited.
just let him finish, and then you can
Well, look,
respond.
Godless can't come in here and lie and say they agreed to limited.
Yeah, but
didn't
correct him
lie.
JD
after.
Vance,
Just correct him after, if you don't mind.
I didn't lie.
yeah,
Like
I can
during, like
correct the
before the
liar right
debate,
after.
before the debate, they said limited fact checking is what they said. They didn't say absolutely no fact checking, but it was limited fact checking with allowing the contestants to fact check each other.
So as you've heard, Godless Engineer appreciates fact-checking. He thinks that they agreed to fact-checking before the debate. Well, let's see if the debate moderators, as the debate was starting, agree with Godless Engineer.
These are the rules that both campaigns have agreed to. Questions will be directed at one candidate, who will have 2 minutes to respond. The other candidate will be allowed 2 minutes for rebuttal. Then each candidate will get another minute to make further points, with an additional 1 minute each at the discretion of the moderator. The primary role of the moderators is to facilitate the debate between the candidates, enforce the rules, and provide the candidates with the opportunity to fact-check claims made by each other.
CBS News reserves the right to mute the candidates' microphones to maintain decorum. We have not shared the questions or topics with the campaigns. The stage is set. Governor, Senator, thank you for joining us.
Let me show you the clip of Tim Walz saying there's no fact-checking during the debate. And then let me show you the interaction where JD Vance called them out for fact-checking during the debate.
That the vice president is letting in.
Well, of course, that's not true. And again, you have the facts. I guess we agreed not to fact check. I'll check it. Does it? It's funded. It's supported by the people who do it. And it lets us keep our dignity about how we treat other people.
Thank you, Governor. And just to clarify for our viewers, Springfield, Ohio does have a large number of Haitian migrants who have legal status. Right. Temporary protected status.
Well, Margaret, but
thank you, Senator. We have so much to get to.
Margaret, I think it's important because
we're going to turn now to the economy. Thank
Margaret,
you.
The rules were that you guys weren't going to fact check, and since you're fact checking me, I think it's important to say what's actually going on. So there's an application called the CBP One app, where you can go on as an illegal migrant, apply for asylum or apply for parole, and be granted legal status at the wave of a Kamala Harris open border wand. That is not a person coming in, applying for a green card and waiting for 10 years. That is the facilitation of illegal immigration, Margaret, by our own leadership.
Thank you, Senator, for describing the legal process. We have so much to get to, Senator.
Those laws have been on the books since 1990.
Thank you, gentlemen.
The CBP One app has not been on the books since 1990. It's something that Kamala Harris created, Margaret.
Gentlemen, the audience can't hear you because your mics are cut. We have so much we want to get to. Thank you for explaining the legal process. Nora.
Thank you, Mark.
Now that you've seen the facts, let's go back to the debate where me and Godless Engineer discussed these things.
So basically, JD Vance spread a pretty damning lie on their channel and on CBS, and CBS decided to fact check him about that, and it was about the amount of undocumented Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, and so they just said the Haitians that are in Springfield, Ohio, are actually legal, like they're legally there. And so that's all that was said. And then JD Vance got upset because he was called out on this particular thing. And so then he tried to twist the legality of these people, these Haitians. He tried to twist it into saying, oh, well, you see, Kamala Harris had this app developed that streamlined the process of seeking asylum or seeking legitimate, asylum here in the United States. And so that, regardless of their legal status, that still makes them undocumented. And so basically she was just allowing undocumented people to be masked while they're here. So, I mean, you're just totally misrepresenting what actually happened during the debate. And I mean, that's pretty disingenuous.
Now, but
I mean, I'm just explaining
debate,
why you're wrong. I mean, just because you said a whole bunch of shit that's wrong, it's not my fault.
Yeah, and I'm explaining why you're wrong, because even during the debate, you can get the quote where Tim Walz even says, "We agreed to no fact checking." JD Vance also called them out and said, "We agreed to no fact checking." Whatever the corrupt media, even if they read it directly before the debate, trying to say that, hey, we're going to fact check a little, or however you want to spin that, both debaters, while they were on the stage, acknowledged that there was to be no fact checking. So I don't care what, like, the spin that's done by the liberal bias media later. As a matter of fact, if you keep this replay up, I'll clip me and Godless, and then I'll clip where they're both saying there's no fact checking, and then the internet can decide.
Okay, so regardless of what both people on stage said, what the network had agreed to was laid out beforehand. So regardless of how the two debaters understood the rules to be, there were rules that were set out before, and CBS, the moderators there, they did do limited fact checking, and the limited fact checking was at the very end. They would clarify some statements that were made during the back and forth between the two candidates. That's all that happened. Just because JD Vance got his appellation panties in a wad doesn't mean that that CBS somehow violated the rules beforehand.
Yeah, James, what if they both said that on stage, but the rules written out by CBS said something different?
I'm responding. If I've ever hosted a debate and you have both debaters who seem to be on the same page, no fact checking, even if I was wrong, if I get corrected by the debaters and even the other debater says we agreed to no fact checking, well, as a mod, you're wrong. You then back off and you do what the debaters have agreed to and what they've believed that was agreed to.
That's completely wrong. The moderator sets rules always.
You as a biased media network, like, I don't know if Godless was here when I was talking about the, for example, the NBC producer who was now filmed admitting that they're biased and just promote Harris and that they dumb down their media. Like, this is willfully ignorant on someone's part, and anybody who does like debates or host debates, and Godless should know that, I've never had a debate on my channel where the actual moderator stops to fact check to defend a point against one of the debaters or to clarify that what the debater said was wrong. That's not how you mod a discussion.
The things that I've hosted, at least the debates that I've been a part of, the debates that I've hosted, they've not been on political topics mainly, and they've also not been on a national stage. So, I mean, I feel like regardless of what the two people that were debating understood the rules to be, there were rules clearly set out. So however you want to spin it and lie about it, that's fine. But the plain and simple fact is that there were rules set out beforehand. There was limited fact checking, which is what occurred. So I get it. You got your panties in a wad about JD Vance being fact checked on his lies live, which were not just regulated to his claims about immigration in Springfield, Ohio, but was also fact checked on like climate change and abortion. So, I mean, that's fine. You want to lie about it just like JD Vance does? Fine. Take your Appalachian panties and go back to the hills of Ohio.
No, I actually have this view that like if a debater and you're debating for something like
no.
No. Ohio's not, but JD Vance is from Ohio and he claims to be Appalachian. So
you guys over talking me when I respond to him is just not going to work. It's not going to do you any good. When you are actually like in a debate and you are going for something like the vice presidency or the presidency, if you can't win the debate without the actual news station like ABC intervening and actually debating for you with these fact checks or supposed fact checks, or you have CBS who agrees to no fact checks and then switches it to limited fact checks, or however you want to spin that, and then they start only doing this towards that particular debater, that's sad.
It's not CBS's fault that JD Vance was the one that was lying and Walz was not lying at all.
You asked me not to cut you off, but if you keep cutting me off, I'm going to just cut you off every single time you speak.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. I mean, you can stop lying. I'll stop interrupting you.
You understand like how this works, that, well, I'm going to interrupt you because I thought you were lying half the time you were speaking before.
Okay, you were actually lying the entire time you were speaking.
We can actually have a good conversation, or you can just lose by interrupting me over and over again.
Oh, no. I mean, I don't think that I'd lose just by interrupting you. I mean, you say something and it's a lie, and then I call you out on it, and you're not happy about it. So that's fine.
I've been very clear. Like,
all right, one at a time would be good.
Well, look, I gave him respect, and then Godless, who's supposed to have done this, like, he does this on YouTube, and he can't actually have halfway decency to not interrupt after he asks me to not interrupt him.
I mean, I've been allowing you to speak, and also, no, I don't respect fascists.
You interrupted me. Well, I understand. Like, you're a liberal. Liberal leads to communism. I'm sure you have a lot of communist ideas.
Define communism for me.
And I'm not really interested in your communism. Let's stick on the topic.
It's entailed.
Let me find this particular article for us.
Wait, James, maybe you guys would do better against each other on the topic of God or something.
I'd like to keep, like, poking him right here.
Yeah, all right, y'all do it.
But I need to find this article about the fact checks. Well, no, if you want to, I mean, it is your room, Converse.
No,
if you
no,
want to have him talk to somebody about God, you can.
No, I'm happy for you guys to do whatever you want.
All right, let me find this article now.
No, bad Converse. Bad Converse, no.
That was Dan Barker.
I thought you said earlier, damn Barker, D-A-M-N. That'd be funnier. Call him that from now on.
No, Dan Barker's a dog. I heard that.
Yeah, that's what Sasha says.
Hey, Godless Engineer, have you read Dan Barker's new book, Contradiction?
No, I've actually been reading Dr. Jennifer Bird's Marriage in the Bible. It's actually quite eye-opening.
Yeah, I'm familiar with her stuff.
So, Converse, real quick.
Is it good?
The first thing from Politico, real quick, just to drop this, that's a CBS, or it's actually saying CBS decides to not make fact-checking, but instead has a QR code on the screen directing viewers where they can click it if they would like certain or additional information.
Oh, you said you sent me something to link?
No, this is the one of the things, because I tried to go to like a liberal site, because usually liberals will automatically reject conservative sites, but Politico is actually saying that they were going to use a QR code on the screen, and that was what they were going to direct viewers to for live fact checking by journalists on their website, not interrupting the debaters or debating for one of the debaters.
Wait, so are you saying this is a faux pas on their behalf? This is like a Donna Brazil moment or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the reference is for, but no, I think that like, and this is just from somebody who's modded many like successful debates and even had people who disagree with me, even on the atheist side, who have given me high praise for my moderation. That
Oh,
like
really?
you just don't go in and you don't put yourself in a position where you seem like you're supporting one debater or over another. It just never turns out bad, and the debate ends up looking bad.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm double checking this out here, and it says that the moderators would enforce the rules and provide the candidates with the opportunity to fact check claims made by each other. This is coming from USA Today, which I'm sure you're going to say is liberal as shit. But while there, and it goes on to state, while there had been plenty of chatter about not fact checking the candidates, as the moderators of the ABC News debate did with Trump last month, the rules published by CBS News before the debate did not rule out moderators offering clarifying comments. So, like, and that's what I would say was what they did. They made clarifying comments. They did not say, I'm sorry, that's wrong. Like, fact check actually is. This was
so
after.
Politico.
No, hold on. I get it. You got some kind of source that you're going to twist.
Well, you were cutting me off, so I was going to like cut you off and now start reading Politico. CBS News last week, moderators, listed two moderators' names, will not point out or correct inaccurate statements made by J.D. Vance or Tim Walz, instead leaving it up to the candidates to fact check their opponents.
Right.
This was well known that there was to be no fact checking, no interrupting and checking for inconsistencies.
No, and that's what they did. They offered clarifying comments after the discussion was had. After both of the candidates had their time in going, one back and forth. It's not a cheap cop out. That's just what the rules allowed.
It's a cop out. And
no, it's not a cop out. You can lie and say that it's a cop out if you want to, there, James. But it's not.
It's a very dirty liberal.
No. It's not snaky. It's just what the rules said.
You're literally saying, because that's what they were upset about, was people interrupting or right after they were done fact checking or correcting them. That's what
they made clarifying comments.
ABC debate.
You characterizing it as if it was like a fact check at the end of the section, that's just not true. They made one clarifying comment at the end of the section that contradicted J.D. Vance. I get it. He's your messiah or some kind of shit. I understand that. Find a different man from Appalachia that's actually from Appalachia to make your fucking messiah. But don't sit there and lie for J.D. Vance in this situation.
I've proven you are like a clear liar. Like everything I'm saying says that
I'm not lying at all.
It says will not point out or correct inaccurate statements made by J.D. Vance or Tim Walz, instead leaving it up to the candidates to fact check their opponents. They even talk about the QR code where you as a viewer can go. If you'd like further clarification, you trying to like restate this to, okay, that section was over.
I'm just reading the rules of CBS News.
So they were just pausing the debate in the middle of the debate to take like a commercial break to make these statements unrelated to the debate. Can you be any more pathetic with this?
I don't know. Can you be any more of a dipshit in the way that you're characterizing this? I feel like you can. Can you try harder?
I mean, I can point out inconsistencies on this all night long.
Oh, no, let's go for 20 more minutes on how they did not break their own rules, that they abided by the rules that they set forth. Come on, let's argue for 20 more minutes about it.
Yeah, I'm reading another article. Same thing. Says they will not jump in. There's a QR code.
Right, and they didn't jump in at the very end when they were transitioning to a different topic. They made a clarifying comment about some of the bullshit that J.D. Vance was spouting.
Yeah, they came in and they fact-checked it.
Nope, they didn't fact-check. They just came in, made a clarifying comment about the dumb shit that J.D. Vance was saying.
If you literally go back and you listen to it, they're literally saying, what he just said is wrong, here's this. They're literally.
No, they did not say
a fact
he is
check.
wrong. They just said, just to clarify, the Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, have legal status. That's what they said.
You don't think somebody trying to clarify or change something is a fact check? Is this like how
Is a
to
clarify statements that were made in a discussion between two candidates? No, I don't think that that's necessarily a fact check. It's just a clarifying comment made by the moderators.
This is sad. This is sad.
You're sad, James. Is this James is tired?
Yeah, I'm actually like really shocked that you're being this dishonest, Godless. Like,
I'm being dishonest. No, James, you're being dishonest in this conversation. That's what you're being. You're being dishonest. You got your head 3 feet up the ass of JD Vance because I don't know why, but you got your head up JD Vance's ass for whatever reason, and you're licking Trump's taint. That's fine. I get it. You love Trump for whatever fascistic reason you love Trump, but it's still just the fact that they did not break any rules in the debate.
No, I would have still, if it would have been like on, let's say, Fox News, and they would have like, oh, by the way, and then said this thing that completely contradicted what the debater just said, I would have been just as aggravated because I'm an honest, consistent person. Even there are other liberal people who seem to be more honest than you, who are like, they weren't happy that ABC did that because of the perception.
How am I dishonest in all this?
They weren't happy that CBS did this with JD Vance.
What have I said that's been dishonest, James?
Well, let's look at it like this. Let's hope that in any future debate, you'll instruct the moderator that if it's a Christian mod, for example, if they feel you said anything that's wrong or anything that needs clarification, from now on in any of Godless's debates, I want you to tell them that. You want the moderator, as soon as you're done talking, before they switch to the next section, to let the audience know you're wrong and then to give an opposing statement before your opponent comes up.
Wait a minute, that's a contradiction.
This is what he thinks is absolutely fine. That section is over. The moderator's just pointing out this clarification, and according to him, that's fine, which means I want Godless to say publicly in any of his debates, he wants the moderators to correct him, give these corrections and those things going forward. Are you willing to do that, Godless?
I mean, if those are the rules that I agreed to before the debate, then sure. The rules that the candidates agreed to before the debate did not rule out clarifying statements after this section was over. So they were perfectly fine. You still want to have a hissy fit about it, go right ahead. But I'm willing to move on to a different conversation.
Yeah, we can jump on to a different conversation. He's been thoroughly exposed on this. There's really no more meat on the bone.
I'm exposed? Sure, James.
Yes, you are.
I'm not the dishonest one here. You're the one that's being dishonest.
Yeah, make sure you save this replay because I'm sure somebody's going to want to hear this back and forth.
I hope that you like record it or whatever. You put a clip up, like do whatever you want to, James.
And thank you. I definitely will do whatever I want to do as far as that stuff goes. So in this particular exchange back and forth, you have me and Godless Engineer arguing and debating. I'm going to have maybe a couple more debates politically that I'm going to upload of me and Godless, where we go back and forth on this particular issue. The bottom line is that if you watched the very beginning of this video, I showed clips where the debate moderators agreed with me. You have Tim Walz agreeing with me. You have JD Vance agreeing with me. And then you have Godless Engineer, who is agreeing with himself in some far left liberal publication that he went to. Also, if you look in this top corner, this is the QR code. This is the thing that you're supposed to scan during the debate, where they have people who are fact-checking, who are going to clarify things to you, because there was a lot of pushback on ABC when they were fact-checking the presidential debate, because that's unheard of. Normally in these debates, you let debater 1 make his point, debater 2 make his point. You let each of them address each other, counterpoints, back and forth. That's how proper debates are done. The moderator does not, under any circumstance, and should not, under any circumstance, debate for one of the debaters. All right, thank you guys. Please like, subscribe, follow for more content. Also, until next time, take care of each other.
Claim they like riding, but I know that they ain't. Ride or die. I go hard in the paint, yeah, homie, I'm a saint. Ride or die.